We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live!
Please remain silent while I am speaking. We have a lot to get through.
Put that cigarette out.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
Oh my God, he's gonna puke! He's gonna puke!
He's fat! You three guys want a war tonight? You got one! To beat a man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo, right here!
Good evening, wrestling fans. It is Monday, February 3rd, and we just finished watching Monday Night Raw, and it is time for the Monday Night Tradition here on Mega Powers Radio, the NPR Raw post show, where we gather together and talk to y'all about what we thought about tonight's show and invite all of you to call in, join us in the chat, and get the conversation going with us as well. Introduce who we got in the show tonight. I'll be your lead host tonight, Mike Paden. With me tonight, three guys we usually have here at the panel. First off, Mr. Tony Mango, lead host of Smack Talk over at the Spark Out Moment brand. What's shaking, Tony?
Not too much. What's up with you, buddy?
Not too much either. Very bland Raw tonight, as I think we might be the overall opinion. I guess I can't just assume that. Let's see what everyone else thinks. Also with us, lead host of Unanimous Decision MMA. I don't know why that's a tongue twister for me every time. And also addicted to anime here at Mega Powers Radio, Mr. Steven Wago.
Hey, man.
Hey.
What's up?
Wow.
Yeah, it was a bit of a lackluster show tonight. Good main event, but that was about it.
And lastly, but certainly not leastly, the Bounce House Prince, Mr. Drew White.
Steven might be addicted to anime, but I'm addicted to kittens and puppies.
Aww. Like for kittens and to get puppies every day. Those are pages you can search on Facebook. Please support them if you like puppies and kittens. Got the cheap plugs out of the way nice and early. That's how anxious we are to talk about Raw. We're plugging our Facebook pages about kittens and puppies, or at least I am.
Somewhere Jerry Lawler's going, puppies? Huh? Somebody say puppies?
Oh, hey, Jerry Lawler coming out of his shell tonight and making a little bit of a standoff against Bad News Barrett.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That was fucking the most horrible segment on the show.
It was pretty freaking.
Actually, no, there was entertaining too, so I don't know what was the worst tonight.
I don't know. This isn't one of those shows where I feel like there's something huge where we have to dig into first. So let's do this the style where we're just going to start at the top of the show and run things down from there. We started off with Randy Orton coming out, eventually being interrupted by Triple H and Stephanie. If I recall right, Randy Orton didn't say anything of significance, just saying, I'm the champion, I'm the best, nothing to note. Triple H and Stephanie, however, inform him that over the next few weeks, he'll be facing each person who is in the Elimination Chamber match with him, starting tonight with Daniel Bryan. And Triple H also added that they're not so sure if Randy Orton is the prime choice to be face of the company. If Daniel Bryan wins that match tonight, perhaps they should consider Daniel Bryan as the face of the company. And we ended up getting Triple H doing this awkward-looking yes chant thing, which just did not look right coming from him. Maybe it was just me, but just him in that blue suit, which I swear is the same blue suit he wears every single week. I don't think I've ever seen him wear a different suit than that dark blue with the lavender shirt and that same tie.
Just be thankful he doesn't get his suits from the same place Mark Henry does.
Well, his dad does, or his father-in-law.
You pay too much attention to detail, Paden.
Why don't we just go ahead and ball this together, too, with the main event we had tonight, because that's what it led to. Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton had a fantastic match, went through 3 segments, lots of false finishes, eventually ended up with Kane coming down for interference, yet despite that, Daniel Bryan remained on top, got the pin after the running knee. Daniel Bryan, according to what Triple H says, now a prime candidate to be face of the company. Now, why the sudden change of heart after, obviously not giving the guy as good of an opportunity with the Royal Rumble after seeming like all these months they were just going to keep trying to keep him down, all of a sudden saying, hey, this guy could be the face of the company. Man, we can only speculate. Let me go around the crowd here and see what you guys think. Tony, what do you think?
I think that this is an immediate reaction to the horrible reaction of the Royal Rumble. Last week with CM Punk leaving, they had to rewrite a lot of stuff. So they didn't really have time to sit down and gestate everything. And then, a couple days later, they go, oh, fuck, you know what? We might have to start paying attention and trying to placate the egos of the fans and everything instead of just ourselves. So let's book Batista in a spot tonight where it's going to be harder for them to boo. And let's try to make Triple H look like a better guy by going, hey, I like Daniel Bryan too. Don't go and mess everything up for us, guys, please. That was my reaction at the very least. I don't think it's going to lead to anything necessarily. Daniel Bryan being the turning heel and joining the Authority or actually winning the title or anything like that. I think it's just some kind of quick fix sort of situation.
What about you, Steven? Do you think this is something that's going to mean better days for Daniel Bryan going forward, or is this just a short-term one-night pop?
I think this is a setup on the Authorities to basically get the title off Randy Orton before they go with a new guy. And I think they're going to choose Batista as their face of the company and set him up against Daniel Bryan.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. Drew, how about you? Where do you feel like this is going?
Before Bryan ended up winning the match, I thought it was more along the lines of, hey, Orton, if you don't beat Bryan, I thought it was just something that would make Orton try a little harder to, because he doesn't want to be outbeaten by Daniel Bryan with the face of the company because, he looks stupid and all. But after Daniel Bryan won, I'm thinking more along the lines of Mango and Steven, maybe they're just trying to change around after the Rumble reaction, the reaction he's been getting for the past month or so. Maybe switching titles off Orton at Elimination Chambers down the line.
Well, how I feel what they're doing with this is they have to cover their asses with the CM Punk thing. They knew people were going to be highly upset, and so to try to cover up for it, that's why they're giving Daniel Bryan the sudden burst of opportunities here. The thing is, I don't know if it even mattered because it didn't seem like that crowd was missing CM Punk that much. I got to say, I think we only had a small handful of CM Punk chants all throughout the night. And I think people were certainly expecting wherever the crowd was to be a lot fiery about this. And they almost seemed like they barely even cared. It almost seemed like they just said CM Punk almost because they were obligated to. And they lost their steam after about, 30 seconds of it.
Yeah, well, the crowd really wasn't that into it tonight. It wasn't very loud, like the Pittsburgh crowds. I think it was it's just a bad place for the people wanting CM Punk to you won't be an emergence in the crowd. It'd be better if they were in like a Chicago or somewhere where people actually care. But Omaha, not to make comparisons, they're kind of like the Sioux City. Not a big town. So they're not really going to care as much about this kind of stuff.
No, they're not quite as bad as Sioux City. At least they had a few moments. At least they stayed on fire for Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, I was just quick comparison. Can't name anything else out there. Deuce Mullins, however you say it, Iowa. That's a better comparison. A little better. How about that?
Okay. Guys, what do you think? Do you think they should have been a little fiery for CM Punk tonight?
Well, we did have some CM Punk chants throughout a couple different segments. That first opening segment, they were chanting.
Yeah, but they were nothing. They were nothing.
No, it wasn't anywhere near as much as what it should have been. But I don't know. Maybe the fans are kind of in the same reaction that a lot of the reports are saying on Scoops, where it's the backstage people are just like, you know what? He's kind of acting like a baby. We don't really care. Or some people are saying that they're even happy that Punk is gone. Maybe he went to the well too many times, and it's kind of like the boy who cried wolf or something. They don't really care anymore.
Well, let me just say, you look at any picture that WWE has posted on their Twitter or their Facebook recently, and all the comments to it when you go down it are, we want Punk. Hashtag,
really?
We want Punk. Hashtag, we want Punk.
Yeah, maybe it was just a weird crowd.
Yeah, I'm definitely on the boat, but it was a marquee crowd, and that's why I don't think CM Punk chants really had any impact tonight. I didn't even know there was CM Punk chants because I was that in and out of the show. One of you guys brought it up to us in our little chat that we had, and I was like, oh, there were? Okay.
Especially during that last segment, don't you think people should have been clawing more for CM Punk to come down and make the save of Daniel Bryan being beat down by Randy Orton and Kane, the guy who CM Punk was last seen to be building some kind of rivalry with?
Yeah, definitely would make sense, but I don't know if it's just the choice of fans, like this particular crowd, or if it's just that people don't give a shit about Punk.
I have no idea. We're going to open up the phone lines now. We're going to open up a little early. We're going to bring on our first caller, our usual caller we have here, Mr. JD from Pittsburgh. Let's open this up here. JD, you there with us?
I'm here, guys. What's going on?
What's shaking, JD, man? What'd you think about tonight's show, man? We're all kind of blah. Where are you with this?
Yeah, I think I'll agree with you guys tonight. It was a bland Raw. I mean, you had no John Cena. Apparently, John Cena was not on the show. Apparently, he didn't wrestle last night at the house shows either. But we heard all weekend, however, that CM Punk chants were loud and just getting crazy down in Florida. And tonight they go to Omaha. And yeah, except for the opening bit, however, I mean, it was just a very subpar Raw. I mean, yeah, they might get a decent rating, but not a big rating. I mean, I'll be surprised if they're in the 3-0 range again. I mean, they at lucky the last 2 weeks, but really,
well, hey, at least there's no more football.
Yeah, it's true. But the only other match besides Bryan Orton that really kind of was a pretty good match you're going to call it about it was the tag match, however, in the steel cage. And the spot Cody did with that moonsault was just incredible. I mean, I don't know how they cut away so quickly, however, with that, but that was kind of one of the better moonsaults. And then all night you heard about Betty White showing up on Raw, of course, next week. And then, of course, you had this whole hype with Bryan Orton. And, of course, you had AJ running her little slutty mouth, of course, being, I'm the Divas champion, look at me. Well, defend your belt, bitch, okay? Why don't you defend your belt? You've been champion for 200-plus days. And you haven't defended against anyone lately. I mean, Tamina stands there like your mangina friend, let's just say, and she just stands there looking at AJ. It's like, oh, I'll defend against anybody. I'll defend against Naomi. I'll defend against Aksana. I'll defend against anyone. Well, defend the belt. We haven't seen a Divas title match in weeks, however. And the thing is, though, next to Dean Ambrose, she's still the longest-term champion. I mean, it's time for her to drop the belt to somebody. But the question is, who do they make her lose to? That's the big million-dollar question. And the same with Ambrose. I mean, he's been U.S. champion for so long since May. Who do they give the U.S. belt to? I mean, there were so many stupid things about this show that just really irked me tonight. I mean, the whole dance thing with Santino and Emma and Fandango and Summer Rae, yuck. Please. They could have put this on the warm-up. I mean, the opening match up on the 6-person tag was pretty good, too, I got to say. That was decent. The R-Truth and Fandango, or what was it? R-Truth, Ziggler, and Ziggler, that's it. And
Xavier Woods.
No. Xavier Woods, without a mustache. Apparently he shaved his stash this week, taking on the Wyatts, however. I mean, that was okay, but it wasn't great. Then you had Sheamus taking on Curtis Axel with Cryback, 7 minutes long. Yeah, fair at best. But the two highlight matches for me tonight, obviously, was the steel cage match with the old age Outlaws against the Rhodes boys. I think they're still setting up the breakup with Cody and Goldie at this point. I mean, they're going to set that up in the next couple weeks, it looks like. But, of course, they just kept hyping so much of Betty White next week. And, of course, Bryan Orton, which was 25, almost 30 minutes long. And that was probably the biggest rating. Now, the thing is, if they could have started out with the show like this, however, or maybe the third hour for this, they could have gone to big rating. I mean, instead, you start with Del Rio and Batista, and then Batista calls him a dog. I mean, not a smart move, Del Rio. Not very smart at all, buddy. But I guess as far as this Punk thing goes, I mean, it's been all over the net this week. I mean, I'm reading an article right now by Justin LeBar while I'm talking to you guys, and I like to stay on, weigh in with more thoughts if I could. But he's just talking how bad, I mean, CM Punk is acting like a child and how he took his little ball and went home. No, I think Punk has a legitimate, I mean, really, in my opinion, however, if you ask me, had every reason to be angry after what happened last weekend. He has every reason. And I'll tell you one thing, it's going to be interesting in about 3 to 3.5 weeks when they go to Chicago. So I'll tell you right now, I would be shocked. And I would tell you what, I would be totally shocked if he comes out in Chicago the first week of March, right around WrestleMania with 4 weeks to go, and just does a shoot-style promo like he did before when he came back. But this time, he really tears them. I mean, a new one. I mean, really goes off. And this goes probably all night long. He keeps interrupting matches. He keeps telling the Authority, well, hey, Triple H, hey, Stephanie, guess what? I'm in my hometown, and guess what? I want to cut off your whole show. I want to make an ass of myself the whole night and tell it like it is. Do it. I think that should be sent around Punk. It should be called the CM Punk 3-hour show. Rather than have any matches that night, just let him go out there and vent his anger for 3 straight hours and tell it like it is.
That would be good for about, 20 minutes. That would get old. But I do like your idea of him showing up, maybe just keep popping up in the crowd with a megaphone and just, taking over a segment once in a while. I think that would be awesome.
I think they're going to. I think we're going to see that happen. I'm not going to say it right now. I'm going to say it. We will see it happen. I have a funny feeling in Chicago, being in his hometown, and WWE always does well in Chicago. This would be the perfect time to do it.
Absolutely. What about Daniel Bryan? How do you think his future is going to be based on the whole turn with him potentially being the face of the company?
Dean Bryan once again continues to amaze me anytime he goes. I mean, he's had some great matches in this past year or so. I mean, he's gone with Cena, he's gone with Orton tonight. Like I said, you went 30 minutes with this tonight. However, it was a great main event. He just continues to apply. I'm impressed every time I watch him. A lot of my friends are real fans of D. Bryan. I am. I think the thing is, though, you have to give him the win here at WrestleMania. And they're all saying, oh, it's not going to happen. Of course, I mean, they're going to give him the win, obviously, at Wrestle. Some people are saying, yeah, it's going to happen, but then he's not going to have the title till Extreme Rules since it's in Seattle. No, they just continue to F him over because, obviously, they have to have Randy Orton kiss the authorities' ass, if you will, Stephanie and Triple H. And then, of course, you have the corporate sellout Kane. It's like, why the hell did they even have Kane come down at the end of the night, however, and just interfere in that? It was none of his damn business being in there in the first place. He should have just stayed in the back like he did. But obviously, however, Triple H is probably going to say this week, I sent Kane down there because it was best for business. We're tired of the same old hearing best for business shit, okay? Get rid of the authority, as I've said for weeks on end. It's time to go in a different direction. And I think you're going to see this end at WrestleMania. At least I hope you do.
Well, who ends it then? If I'm guessing it's going to be Daniel Bryan if it's not CM Punk, or is CM Punk going to come back? Who do you think it's going to be that's going to finally silence them?
If it's not Daniel Bryan or CM Punk, it's hard to say, you know? I mean, I can see a young guy like, say, I'm not going to say John Cena because I don't think that'll happen. One guy who I think kind of did a little bit and spoke his mind about it, if you saw it on SmackDown Friday night, was Roman Reigns when he confronted Hunter in the ring. I mean, you talk about a guy who's just busting out of a shell week by week. It's still Roman Reigns. And I think they got to deal first with the Wyatts, obviously, but I think they're definitely setting up for the Shield to turn face in more ways than one. I mean, I really do. You could hear the response tonight. A lot of people were cheering for the Shield. I mean, even after they popped on the Tron after when the Wyatts won their match, however, Dean Ambrose said, Bray, you don't impress me with your poems and this and that. So I think one of the guys at the Shield, like Roman Reigns, could be it, maybe. I don't know, but they got to do something.
All right, Jay, let me ask you your high point for tonight's show and your low point for tonight's show.
Well, two high points, definitely. The main event, I think, was great, without question. It gave him an amount of time, and the steel cage was pretty decent for us. The low point for me, however, I mean, the Fandango thing, but you know what? I'm not going to say that was the low point of the night for me. The low point to me tonight was the whole freaking, what match was it? It was a quickie match. I think it was, I should know this. I would say
the Titus O'Neil, Zack Ryder?
Yeah. I mean, you talk about both guys going nowhere fast. Yeah, I'd say Titus and Zack, because you look at Titus, however, I mean, basically he's leaving Darren Young. He hasn't done much, however. I don't think he's going to do much as a big, strong singles guy, but you never know. Zack Ryder, I mean, this is the first time we've seen Zack on television, I think, in months, however, and it just, I think I'm surprised they haven't given him his outright release, but I think you're going to see a house cleaning soon, and one of those guys is going to be Zack Ryder, and I can name some others that are going to be gone. I can see Hornswoggle, I can see Khali. I mean, I'm surprised they brought Santino back tonight.
Oh, Hornswoggle, you got to do that money match with El Torito.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised they haven't set that up yet. Surprising. I think you're going to see that maybe as. I mean, that could be a pre-show warm-up for Mania. I could see that happening.
Hornswoggle has a movie coming out next month.
I did hear something about that.
He's got that Leprechaun Origins movie coming out next month, so I wouldn't be surprised to see more Hornswoggle on our TVs in the coming weeks. Be forewarned.
Now, what do you do with? Well, let me ask you guys this though. There's been a lot of talk about Brock Lesnar changing on the fly suddenly as far as his match with the Taker. Where do you put Brock Lesnar in maybe at WrestleMania right now?
I still think the money match is Brock Lesnar Batista. I think that's the biggest money match you could do with that guy right now.
Triple threat with Hornswoggle and El Torito. Come on.
For the
fucking Brock Lesnar throwing El Torito around, that'd be fucking.
Well, I told you guys last week, I don't think you're going to see Brock and Batista in Mania. I think you're going to see it in Minneapolis at Elimination Chamber, unless they do Del Rio and Batista. Like they kind of teased that tonight, especially when Del Rio started getting up in his face, and Batista went nuts, however, after basically Del Rio slapped him.
Yeah, absolutely. Del Rio, I think, actually showed a little bit of, as he would say, cojones, stepping up to Batista. Hopefully that doesn't mean too long of a thing. Hopefully this is just one thing to get one and done in the Elimination Chamber to get Batista through to WrestleMania. I would not think they would waste Brock Lesnar and Batista in a small Elimination Chamber match. I already think they got enough other blockbuster things they're putting on there with the one chamber match and now the Shield versus the Wyatts. They don't want to stack too much on there.
Right. And I mean, I could see a Divas match coming up, maybe possibly at the Elimination Chamber, unless they're going to save it for WrestleMania. But like I said, however, I think it's time for AJ to get rid of the belt. I mean, I really do.
I have to disagree. There's really no other good women there to take it from her. If you don't like AJ, I can understand that. But who do you put it on? Emma? Summer Rae? Naomi?
No, I'm not saying Emma or some. No, Natty. How many times has Natty been screwed over? How many times has Natty been screwed over time and again? You know? I mean, and then you got Naomi, you got Cameron. I mean, Naomi, I don't see her doing real well, however, but you never know. But like I said, if you guys get a chance, you might want to check out that article by LeBar, however. I'm reading it right now, like I said, as I'm talking to you. And he wrote this last night, however. And it's a very interesting piece, however, that he wrote. Like I said, he says CM Punk has responsibility to WWE, and it is a very, very good piece.
I tend to stay away from that website. I got to say, lot of bad experiences there. I think a lot of guys here would agree. There's just not a lot of good to be had from WrestleZone.
Go Colts!
Right.
WrestleZone, we make crap up.
All right, JD, awesome call tonight, man. We'll catch y'all next week, dude. Really appreciate all who call in. JD, awesome call every single week we have him here. Anyone else who wants to dial in, area code 760-512-7247. That's area code 760-512-7247. The chat room is going ablaze. Everything's going crazy. People are happy, and I'm shocked because tonight's Raw was not that exciting, and I didn't think there would be a lot to talk about. Okay, Awesome Piano Man keeps wanting me to say it. Paige is an option to take the title from AJ Lee. Sure, maybe. So some broad from NXT.
Yeah, I know who she is.
She the one from England?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, black hair.
Yeah, the black hair kind of looks like Sheamus.
Oh yeah, black hair. Yeah.
Needs to eat a meal.
Does she do this? Does she do the bro kick of the brogue? Does she do that too?
No, she goes broad.
Oh. Nope. She can't take it off her. Nope.
Okay. So let's continue where we left off. We're going to talk about the first matchup we had this evening. It was between The Shield taking on a three-man team of Rey Mysterio Jr., Kofi Kingston, Big E Langston. This is an okay matchup, I suppose. The ending of it was Roman Reigns getting himself real amped up, doing a Superman punch, and eventually preparing for the spear. However, before he gets a chance to do the spear on Big E Langston, Dean Ambrose tags himself in with a blind tag, hitting him on the back, coming in, hitting him with his forward DDT. I never know what the actual name for that move is. Getting the pin. Roman Reigns visibly upset. You almost think that there's going to be a fight between the two. However, Seth Rollins holding the two together, saying, guys, let cooler heads prevail. Before anything can happen, though, Bray Wyatt interrupts over the Tron, cuts what I think was one of his better little speeches that he's had in recent memory. And even Luke Harper and Eric Rowan got a chance to speak this time. Luke Harper getting a full line or two, and Eric Rowan just getting to say the word run. But hey, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go on the record as saying they didn't do too bad. What do you guys think about that, Drew?
Wait, the match or the promo?
Both.
Okay. The match was so-so. It was okay. You know, it was kind of short. You know, about 5 minutes long. You know, it was good for what it was. That promo though, really, it was something special. You know, and I can't believe they ended up mentioning the Wyatts versus the Shield later in the night at Elimination Chamber, you know, and I remember last year everyone we're just talking about how that should be the Mania match, but at least they're getting that in before the Shield breaks up. But, you know, the promo was good, you know, I think Rowan's the one who wears the lamb mask, correct?
That is correct.
Yeah, you know, he was just it was a good, 15-second period where he just lamb stared everyone down. I think he was trying to hypnotize me. But, you know, it was a good promo and, you know, a decent match for what it was. So I really enjoyed this segment.
Steven, what do you think about the whole situation developing between the Shield and the Wyatts through this segment here?
I'm not all that interested in the feud itself. I think the match is going to be a flop. But the match tonight was entertaining between Ray, Big E, and who was the teaming with them again?
Kingston.
Yeah, I always forget that guy. It's almost like he's irrelevant or something. But
that is a former Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, he's probably a former US champion too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was a missed opportunity. You know, when they had Ray up on Seth Rollins' shoulders, I so wanted to see Reigns come off the ropes and give him a Superman punch. Would have looked fucking sweet. But overall, the match was good, and the promo had good delivery. I think it just needed more Jerry Lawler one-liners.
Tony?
Kind of a squash match, I thought. Langston, Kingston, and Mysterio didn't really get that much of an offense from what I was expecting the three of them to get. Particularly Langston, because if they're going to give him kind of a push, which they've sort of...
he didn't even get a freaking entrance.
Yeah, they kind of negated on that.
Of all the guys who got an entrance, it was Mysterio.
He could have had a decent showing at the Royal Rumble, and they gave him a very end spot, and then he just, gets eliminated rather quickly. So maybe they're kind of soured on him a little bit. I don't know. But Shield kind of looked like baby faces here, and that's something that happened throughout the whole rest of the night. End of the match, I don't know. That was a little bit bland to me. The spear has so much more impact than whatever the hell Ambrose is calling his move. Something about Ambrosia, maybe. I don't know. The promo from the Wyatts, though, I think Bray Wyatt has been taking this Ultimate Warrior thing a little to heart. His promos are getting more and more nuts, and that's kind of cool. But how awkward was it that Luke Harper just started talking, and it was like, oh shit, he's not mute, and then Eric Rowan sits there, and that long pause that Drew was talking about, I kind of thought oh well, maybe he's going to be the mute because he hasn't really said anything yet, and that's why he's taking forever. He's just going to stare, and that'll be it. But then when he just goes run. It's okay, he's not the mic guy on this team, is he?
He's still a simpleton.
Right. But I like the idea of what they're doing with the Shield and the Wyatt family right now. The 6 other men that have been in the tag matches tonight, they really got the shaft. But yeah, it's what it is.
Someone's got to count the lights.
Oh, one thing I want to mention before we continue is that Big E, just that nasty gash on Reigns' face afterwards.
I didn't notice this. I saw you guys mention this in the chat. What was that about?
I think Reigns, he got a gash on his face. It was was when Big E was in the ring. I think they were both running the ropes and they collided. I think that's the only time I really think it makes sense that actually happened. But he had a big gash on his forehead. A lot of blood was coming out. But then at the end of the match, I think he moved his hair over to cover it up, so he really couldn't see it too much.
Maybe that's why I couldn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's funny. He's already injured Dean Ambrose. Now he's injured Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins is the only one left. He's taking out the Shield one by one.
Oh, goodness. So after this match, we had the return of Bad News Barrett to Raw. This time he got to inform us of the people who got to watch the Super Bowl yesterday may have thought they had fun watching it, but he had some bad news.
Oh, no, what was the bad news?
Clogged their arteries with the nasty finger foods and all that. I actually thought this was a fine segment for him. Until it was interrupted by Jerry Lawler, who basically made the equivalent of saying, yo mama, to Wade Barrett with his return. I don't even remember exactly what it was. Well, maybe you won't be here next week.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
This was fucking dumb.
What if he would have just given the middle finger? Hey, Barrett, eat this, fucko.
Hopefully you won't be here next week. What? Makes no sense. Shut the fuck up.
I think there's so much potential for this Bad News Barrett character, and it's a shame when it gets squabbled on Jerry Lawler. There's really no one else they could have had him had come stand up to him at this point. They could have had freaking, I don't know, Christian, Dolph Ziggler, Yoshitatsu, sure, better than Jerry Lawler.
Okay, never mind.
What? What'd you say, Drew?
You said something?
I said Kurt Hawkins.
Yeah, Kurt Hawkins.
He's not doing anything. When's the last time he did something in WWE?
He's still employed.
The Undertaker maybe. Brock Lesnar. I don't know. That's just to name a couple.
The Zigster's saying the drama of I hope Lawler doesn't die is a good angle, I guess.
Well, that's what he should have responded with when Lawler said, hey, I hope that you die, Barrett. He should have been like, hey, Lawler, if anybody knows how to fucking pack your arteries with bad food and die from a heart attack, it should be you.
Yeah. Why don't you eat more Hardee's on camera?
Yeah, go have another bucket of KFC and fuck off or something. Lawler just kind of sulks and sits back down.
Oh, the attitude era is not anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's so many better things he could have said, even with PG dialogue, and he comes out with that line with Barrett. You could have said something as simple as, I got some bad news. No one wants to hear what you want to say and they want you to shut up. It would have sounded better than what he did say.
Oh, yeah, Barrett? Well, you're a duty head. Huh? How about that?
You're a poopty.
Yeah.
And why Lawler? Why not JBL?
That's JBL.
JBL is the general manager of NXT. He doesn't have time for these things.
No, okay.
Yeah, he just had a problem and then wanted to bitch to something later on. Why didn't he bitch to Bad News Barrett?
Ooh, true.
So our next matchup we had was between Jack Swagger and Christian. Jack Swagger trying to get redemption for his loss on SmackDown to Christian, which was a qualifier for the Elimination Chamber. However, Jack Swagger once again coming up on the short end, being pinned by Christian. Jack Swagger looking like his days with Zeb Coulter may be numbered. They keep teasing this. He got slapped in the face last week, and now once again another loss. You have to imagine not just Zeb, but also Antonio Cesaro's patience may be wearing thin. Guys, where do you think this is going, Steven?
Yeah, because less tag teams, that's what we need after the primetime players are split up. The Shield's going to be splitting up. Considering they wanted to build the tag division, they're doing a piss poor job of keeping them together. We just lost tons of funk as well, so I don't like this direction. I think we need more tag teams. But there's a part of me that also thinks Antonio is being held down by the tag team division, so I'm kind of on the fence about this one, but for now I'd rather them be together.
Totally Drew.
Sorry, Samoa cookie time. I had to finish that up. But,
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah, so
Anyhow, Cesaro, at least Cesaro's in the Elimination Chamber match. I think after Elimination Chamber, I think that's when they're really going to split up officially. But, it's about a hit and miss. They have a few tag team divisions in the division. I guess that's the easiest way to say it. I mean, some are leaving, but they could always just bring some up, make a few more. I think everyone's been saying, "Oh, bring back Evan Bourne." I don't even know if Evan Bourne's alive anymore. So
he keeps tweeting that he's coming back soon, but he's been tweeting that since like September.
He's actually being fired. He's just that stoned that he doesn't realize.
But due to some kind of error in accounting, he's still receiving paychecks.
He still thinks that John Laurinaitis is like head of talent relations, and John's just texted him, "No, we've got something for you. We'll just wait for your text."
We're going to be in a tag team with Ezekiel Jackson. He's coming up soon, right? No.
But Drew, you were saying?
But they have Xavier Woods and R-Truth. They just don't want to use them properly. Just have them be the jobbers. I mean, we haven't seen the 3-man band and. Were they even in?
They were on Raw every week for a while, and I guess they're just kind of like taking some time off. As far as Xavier, I think they might have changed their mind if they may have brought him up too soon. I thought he was ready before he was.
I don't know. I like the Xavier Woods character. It's just that he doesn't have a theme. He used tons of funks for a while. And, R-Truth does all this stuff when Xavier should be showing off more and not really having R-Truth be the spokesman of Xavier Woods, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it's R-Truth's fault. So, fire him.
We'll get to them a little bit later. Let's talk about the next match we had tonight. And this one is one I'm actually excited to talk about. Inside of a steel cage for the tag team titles. It was the New Age Outlaws defending them against the Brotherhood, Goldust, and Cody Rhodes. Interesting rules they apply to it. Pinfall victories only. No escaping the cage will not do you any good. This match actually, I gotta say, was kind of slow, kind of plotting. I did not really get too into it until the end. Cody Rhodes, as soon as I knew were doing this tag match, I knew Cody was going to replicate the moonsault off of the top of the cage that he did at Madison Square Garden. And of course, he did not disappoint. He went up, just did it wildly. I mean, I'm honestly shocked he didn't break his neck. He missed Road Dogg, not completely. He slightly got him on the shoulder, I guess. But I really think Cody Rhodes might have hurt himself with there. It looked like he might have broken his wrist or done something there. He definitely took a bad fall there, and as a result, his team was unable to get the victory. Billy Gunn, once again, jumping in for the Famouser, getting the pin. New Age Outlaws defending their tag team titles. Brotherhood continuing to come up on the short end. Steven, what's up with this?
I did not like this match. I thought it was slow-paced, and I hate the fact that you have guys on the apron in a cage match. I'm pretty confident it's no disqualification when you have these, so it doesn't really matter who the fuck the legal man is anyway. So the rules kind of, I found stupid. It was just a shitty match with one cool spot, and people are blowing it up like it's something more than it is. I think Cody's fine off the moonsault. I think he was just selling it very well. If this continues to lead to where I think they're going to go with Cody and Goldust splitting up, then it makes perfect sense. Goldust can get on Cody for taking a reckless move and costing them their title shot. So in the long run, it could work out for the feud, but the match was lackluster.
Drew, how y'all feel about this?
The match was just so-and-so. I was kind of in and out of it. It wasn't very interesting. I thought the idea of, of the being on the aprons and having it like it as a tag team match, but with the cage around it, I thought it was stupid. But, that moonsault was terrifying. I mean, Cody didn't even look back as soon as he got up there. He was just like, okay, I'm going to jump in 3, 2, 1. He jumped. And, I don't know whose fault that'd be. I don't know if that's Cody's fault for not really looking or if it's Road Dogg's. It probably was just bad timing because he kind of got him, but he, like you said, he kind of missed it. It kind of looked like he might have hurt himself. But I don't like the way it finished with, like, as soon as he took the bump, badass Billy Gunn just came in and hit him with the famous hurt to end it. I think that's stupid because they did the same exact thing at the Rumble, but it wasn't like after a moonsault or anything. But I just hate how quickly it ended after that. I thought that wasn't the best way, but other than that, it was just a so-so match.
I don't think you could have carried it any longer after that.
Yeah, where do you go after a big-ass moonsault off the top of the cage? It's kind of, you've reached your climax, so you might as well bring it home.
Yeah, because we don't bring it home that quick. I just drag it out for a couple more minutes. I mean, hey, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, we had Batista and Del Rio out there. I think they could have not done that and added a few more minutes to this match.
It wasn't
that bad. It wasn't that bad.
I didn't need a couple more minutes of this match.
Giving a shout out to Awesome Piano Man saying that Drew was dropping some hashtag bounce house knowledge.
Bounce House Federation. Wait for it. It's coming. We're coming.
Tony, what'd you think about this matchup and Cody Rhodes moonsault off the top of the cage?
I actually liked the match more than you guys did. I thought that it was the match of the night. One thing that I thought was kind of cool, which people don't really point out that often because it's usually spots and stuff, there was a really good 2.5 count that happened right before the moonsault. That really is just one of those basic things that I really like about wrestling, where they had really good timing and the fans were into it. I mean, Cody Rhodes goes for a pin on Road Dogg, 1, 2, and the ref goes down right for the 3 count and bang, he kicks out, and that's just that, I thought they were going to win kind of a thing. I liked that. The moonsault, I got to echo the same points you guys mentioned. It was cool in theory, but it looked messed up and it looked kind of dangerous the way that he pulled it off. Like Drew was saying, he just kind of went like, all right, well, I guess somebody's behind me. I'll just flip and something will happen. And if I die, I die. Whatever. I'm Jeff Hardy for 5 minutes. The rules were a little bit weird, and the commentators were even saying maybe we got the rules wrong and you can escape the cage and all this other kind of stuff. So that's a little odd.
That would be such a WCW moment.
Right.
It'd be awesome if he just fell forwards and just landed outside the cage.
Suddenly you see like the counter.
He won!
But unless you're planning for a Mania match like with Cody Rhodes and Goldust, you can't split up tag teams. And people are going to get lost in the shuffle. So going back to what we had said before with Tons of Funk and the Primetime Players and the Real Americans and everything like that, I don't know what WWE is planning on doing here. You can't get rid of all your tag teams, have no tag team division again, and be building the tag team division. And unless you're planning on bringing a ton of people up from developmental and tagging up a lot of the people on the roster that aren't doing anything, like the Justin Gabriels and stuff, you're running out of tag teams now. 3 tag teams break up, well, if you count the Real Americans, and a 4th potential tag team will break up with the Brotherhood. 4 tag teams is huge to lose. And so far, what's happened with Brodus Clay? Nothing. What's happened with Tensai? Nothing. What's happened with Darren Young? Nothing so far. He's not going to last on his own. There's no future Intercontinental Champion or anything. So he either needs another tag team partner or he's just going to flounder around like the Kurt Hawkins and Yoshitatsus have already done. Titus O'Neil's got a new theme song. Oh, okay, whatever. That's not going to last. And the same thing will happen with Jack Swagger. I don't know what the hell they're thinking with that, but the only tag team that's splitting up that seems like it has any bit of a direction right now is Cody and Goldust. So
this just fucking reeks of like past mistakes too. Hart Dynasty, how'd that work out when you split them up? Crime Time, Chad's fucking singles career was real good, yeah. I don't know why they do this.
Like, both of those teams are around the same time, so people thought they were redeveloping the tag team divisions before.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I think the problem is? I think that they do want to change the tag team division up, but every once in a while they sit down and they just go on Wikipedia or something like that, and they look at their list of the roster members, and they sit there and go, you know what, Tons of Funk really is not doing that much, though. Well, you know what, maybe we could split them up. Maybe we'll make 2 single stars out of these guys. Oh, well, you know what else? If we're splitting them up, we should split up the primetime players, because they're not really doing anything either. Yeah, we'll split them up. We'll have 4 guys here. And before you know it, a week goes by and they go, oh, fuck, we actually have to put work into these? Well, let's just put them on Main Event and Superstars and SmackDown, and they'll figure it out. This is sink or swim time for these guys, and it's always sink time.
I'm surprised the Usos have lasted so fucking long. I wouldn't put it past them to fuck that up next year either. I mean...
They're brothers. It's tougher to break up brothers.
Next year, Kofi Kingston and random superstar that's good at high flying will be tag team champions.
Calling it.
Yep.
Xavier Woods.
Yeah, probably. Maybe Evan Bourne. Maybe they'll bring him back and do Air Boom again. Or maybe they can find another black guy like our troop. Or Xavier Woods, as you said, and have their token black tag team as they always do.
Rey Mysterio? Sin Cara?
Same stupid shit, and they never learn. Stuff like this really pisses me off.
Let's zip through these next 2 segments. We found out that next week we will have Betty White as a special guest host on Raw. Once again, having the celebrity guest host on Raw. Anybody excited about this?
Yeah, my 5th cousin's gonna be there. Who wouldn't be excited? Psych.
He's actually 6th cousin.
Twice removed. Ooh.
I totally missed the question.
Are you excited? Steven, you have no clue who Betty White is.
I have no idea who Betty White is. I've always heard of Betty White. I have no fucking clue who that individual is.
She was Golden Girls.
I imagine she smells of mothballs by the looks of her.
She's like the Mae Young of television.
Yes, exactly.
So that means she's got horrible saggy tits that she's going to flash?
That and that someone's going to powerbomb her through a table, pretty much.
Oh, I'm okay with powerbombing old ladies through tables. That shit's awesome.
Titus O'Neil, we spoke about his the demise of the primetime players. Titus O'Neil having his first match as a single star afterwards against Zack Ryder, of all people, finally back on Raw. I'm sure he was quite happy about that. Woo! Before the match, he was even around for about 30 seconds. Miz comes out of nowhere, jumps on the commentary booth saying, I can't believe this. You have the guy who barks like a dog and has a stupid web show on Raw and not me. That was kind of cool, kind of interesting. I'm actually interested to see where that goes. However, the rest of this match, not so much. It's just a basic squash match for Titus O'Neil. The only move I really liked that he did throughout the match was during the beginning, he picks up Zack Ryder and he like slowly and gently props him on the top rope and is like very careful and very soft with him. And then he just like pushes him right off, like not pretty or anything else, just like boof. Just pushes him right to the outside of the ring. I thought that was kind of funny. But you guys have any opinions you want to add to the possible future of Titus O'Neil?
Best part of this whole match was when Miz took the headset off, he fucked up his hair and he looked really silly.
Yeah, I noticed that.
So I was like, let's make this match more interesting. The only thing that came about this match was us debating in the chat if Zack Ryder looks bigger or not. Looked bigger to me. Changed his gear and got the stupid dye out of his hair. But yeah, the match itself sucked. I was just like, he's got new gear.
He just looked less like a teenage boy is what
it
was.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying, stopped trying so hard. Looked better for it too. Little too late.
Did you notice that The Miz, when he threw that down and messed up his hair, by the time he got around to the stairs, he realized it, and then he just really quickly tried to fix it with his one hand. It was just kind of like, oh fuck, I feel like my hair's messed up.
How much shit does he put in his hair for it to stick out that far like that, though? Because it was fucking like a wing sticking out of his head or some shit.
He took Zack Ryder's hair stuff. He's like, I'm not going to be using this anymore. Do you want it, Miz? Sure, I'm going to spike it, but I'm going to spike it sideways.
All right, our next segment was probably all of our favorite segments of the night. We had Fandango and Summer Rae making their way to the ring. And who should follow them up but Santino Marella?
Yeah.
Now, at first you thought we were going to have a dance-off between Fandango and Santino Marella. Well, you were wrong.
What?
Instead, Santino said that he wanted Summer Rae to have a dance-off against a person in the audience of his choosing. And, of course, who else should he choose but Emma?
Who's Emma?
I have a big problem with Emma.
Are you not entertained?
I watch NXT quite often, and I've seen this girl down there quite often as well, and she comes out and does that stupid thing where she's just putting her arms side to side, left to right, left to right. Somehow it's caught on down in NXT, and I just don't get it.
I mean, Fandangoing caught on.
I don't get it. Fandangoing is different. The audience did that. That was organic.
Organic, God.
This chick is... what is that?
I think it's the case where it's really bad, but it's a crowd that's there regularly, so they went with it, and they enjoy it just to take the piss out of it.
Well, I don't know why they decided to really debut her in Omaha then, because they certainly weren't going to do anything with this. They couldn't even keep a CM Punk chant going. They're going to freaking do that stupid arm thing with her.
WWE never is very strategic when they play segments with certain crowds. So, surprised. I don't think it mattered anyway where you put the segment. It was going to bomb. Fucking stupid.
I think you should have done this in Chicago. I think it would have gone over like gangbusters.
No, it would have gone over. This was the Raw after WrestleMania. Everything goes over to the Raw after WrestleMania.
You know what? You're not wrong.
Or you know what? Maybe they should, or maybe if this is where the Raw after WrestleMania is, do it in Florida, where they film NXT. So maybe you'll actually have some of the people who are familiar with her and actually do want to do the dance with her.
Or just do the yes chant when you're doing it, because people like pointing and doing that. She's pointing side to side and saying yes each time.
Or just give the girl a new freaking gimmick and tell her to stop doing this stupid arm thing.
Let's just release her because fuck her. I have no time for that shit.
So I love JBL's reaction, though. I'm going to be sick.
Yeah, and he throws the fucking pen in the air and down on the ground. It was awesome.
That sums it up.
I miss when Michael Cole was like, when he was doing his heel roll, and he used to just like blatantly say during these awful segments, oh, this is the worst segment ever. Or, oh, this segment's great. I fucking just wanted heel Cole to come back during this segment.
And he would just like get up and take the microphone and interrupt in the middle of Divas matches, saying how terrible and a waste of time they were.
And the gong on NXT.
The gong!
The gong was awesome.
Oh god, I missed heel Cole for this moment. It would have been perfect. Or Bad News Barrett, if he needed some time to come out, it should have been now.
So did you guys hate this segment? And I'm the only one who thought it was funny, just because of how bad it was?
I'm surprised that Santino is back. Posted a picture of him in hospital. What the fuck? I just got rid of you off my team. You better not start winning matches, you son of a bitch.
It's Santino. What is he going to win?
That's why you can't trust scoops, man.
Can't trust his fucking Twitter of him in a hospital bed either, apparently.
How long ago was that?
I don't know. I don't fucking.
You follow Santino on Twitter?
Yeah,
no, Scoops has got the whole Twitter feed in the side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was something like 2 weeks ago.
God damn, what the fuck? Steroids and amphetamines. What is he doing?
God, I think we need a discussion how steroids works, because between you and fucking penis juice with JD, something's going amiss here.
Penis juice.
We had a matchup between Sheamus and Curtis Axel, which was pretty much worthless. Sheamus getting the victory with the bro kick. I'm not sure if they were teasing a breakup between Ryback and Curtis Axel either. Like, Ryback just kind of like kept shouting at things. I'm not sure if that was supposed to be like a tease of him getting upset, or if that's just Ryback being Ryback.
I thought it might have been more of a tease as well.
I wasn't paying attention. I don't give a fuck.
I think that's just the only words Ryback knows how to say. Stupid!
He's looking for his latte that he ordered.
What?
You didn't see that video?
Yeah, that video was funny as hell.
He posted a video of himself in going through a coffee drive-thru, and he's blasting his theme music. And then when he gets up to the drive-thru, they're like, "Guy, can I help you?" And he's like, "Feed me more." And they're like, "Can I help you?" And he's just like, "Oh, I'll have like a coffee or something." It's actually one of the most entertaining things that he's ever done.
Yeah, Ryback just keeps outdoing himself. I think eventually he may need to break away from Curtis Axel. start of the future.
I don't know. I think Curtis Axel's helping him out with all that charisma that he's rubbing off on Ryback and the great in-ring.
He gets it from his daddy.
Yeah.
And his granddaddy, because that happens automatically.
Yeah.
If your parents were good at something, you're automatically good at it too. That's how it works.
Yeah, like Manu.
Shame he didn't fucking inherit their hairline. Jesus Christ, he's gonna get bald before he ever gets another title shot.
Oh gosh, Batista decides to join us next. However, he doesn't even get to speak before Alberto Del Rio comes out and interrupts him. Alberto Del Rio calls out Batista, saying that while he was sitting on his butt waiting for his agent to call him for movies, Del Rio was there winning every single major championship. Which, if you think about it, man, the past 4 years really have been a lot of Del Rio. I mean, won the Royal Rumble. He went on to have a major match at WrestleMania for a title. He multi-time WWE and World Heavyweight Champion. Held that World Heavyweight title pretty much for the entire year.
Ooh, yeah.
I mean, as much as we want to hate on Del Rio, there's no denying that he has dominated the scene over the last few years. And that really puts it into perspective when you see him going and calling out a guy like Batista.
Has he won a tag team championship?
I don't think he ever won a tag team championship.
I'm going to have to go and watch that video of him getting knocked out by Crow Cop repeatedly just to undo all the reminders of the title reigns you've just put in my head.
Before we get any deeper into that, guys, I know I was just introducing a topic there, but we got a caller in the line. I want to bring him in here. Caller from the 817 area code. You are live on the Mega Powers Radio Raw Post Show. What's your name and where are you calling from?
It's Brian Brain. How's it going?
What's shaking, Brian, man? We were just starting to talk about Batista Del Rio, so why don't you pick us up there, man? What did you think about that situation tonight?
Oh, I was really hoping for Batista bomb to Del Rio, but
don't really do it for free.
Huh?
They don't do it for free.
Oh, that's true. They don't do it for free. That's right. Yeah, but I mean, I was at least glad to see ADR, Alberto Del Rio, take a little bit to Batista, just because Batista looks like he needs somebody to beat the shit out of him. I mean, literally, he doesn't look like he belongs in the ring, and I know he's been away for 4 years, but WWE's putting way too much money stock into these guys coming back, like Batista, Brock Lesnar, instead of working with the people they have, and that's why somebody's not there. And I can't believe the fans actually marked out to freaking Batista when they should have been chanting somebody's name when he was coming out. Because I'm not going to say his name because he's not wrestling right now. And that kind of makes me mad because...
You don't want to say his name. You might get ejected from the building.
Right, absolutely. Because that's what supposedly some friends of mine were saying was happening. People were getting ejected. Seat fillers were coming in and filling the seats. People's signs are getting taken away. I don't know if you guys saw the sign that said, "My other CM Punk sign got confiscated on the way in." I mean,
that was clever.
Sorry to say it, but those fans just had no clue what to do. Either they were getting piped down by WWE, or there was only 100 to 200 people chanting for Punk. Personally, if it was me, if I would have been there, I would have been chanting for Punk the whole night, smarking like we do. And
no, Omaha is not a very fiery crowd. I mean, they got to wait until they get somewhere like Los Angeles or Chicago or New York.
But I think by the time it gets to LA, something's going to be resolved. Either Punk will be back, and I know that's next Monday, right? Or the fall. I don't know when that is, but I know it's soon. But I have a feeling Vince has been to Chicago or wherever Punk's hiding out, and they got something working out. Because to me, right now, it's just looking too much like a work. It looks like CM Punk and WWE are working together for mutual benefit, and that's money. Because people are spending money left and right on CM Punk's merchandise because they don't think he's going to be back. Well, his contract doesn't end till, June? July? So I think CM Punk will definitely be back by that point.
It doesn't mean he has to honor his contract, though. I think that was it's not the biggest concern for him. Depending on what the situation is.
I don't think he needs the money. I mean, I know he's saved money, whatever else, but the thing is I think more for him it's about how he wants to leave. I don't think he wants to leave without saying something. I mean, yes, I know they took his name off of Axis, but who cares about Axis? I'm sorry. I love WrestleMania. I love everything they do, but I'm not going down there just for CM Punk or Daniel Bryan. I'm going there for everybody. As many signatures, as many meets and greets as I can get.
So you mentioned the name Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan seeming like he's going to start getting more attention from the company going forward. What do you think the deal with that is?
Absolutely. I think by the way they made Bryan out tonight, that Bryan has taken CM Punk's spot in the top tier of what they want to do going forward. Which is smart because basically you're not really trading that much else. You got high, kicky, flying action out of both those wrestlers. Fans love Daniel Bryan. Fans love CM Punk. Which, you're basically equaling yourself out. I guess that's why Mark Henry's coming back from injury so soon. Thought they were going to ride him off for a few months. And Big Show, you're going to start seeing these guys come back because they got that hole to fill. That's why Zack Ryder was in the match.
Yeah, this is why Zack Ryder's back on Raw and why The Miz is going to start getting a push. It's all CM Punk's fault. Enjoy that, people.
Right. Not that Zack Ryder doesn't deserve to be on Raw. He does. Kurt Hawkins needs to be on Raw. Yoshitatsu needs to be on Raw.
Whoa. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
ATG. These are guys
Whoa.
These are guys that work every single night on the road at the live shows that, I'm sorry to say it, never are on TV. I know they lose. They're the losers, but it doesn't matter. A 5-minute match for somebody to squash them is fine. They just need to be out there. I don't know. Maybe it's just because maybe my brain's crazy today, but I mean, we've
Brian
gone
brain
through
got a crazy brain.
Yeah.
So what else is on your mind about tonight's show?
But tonight was good. I mean, it's an okay show. No Cena. That was great. Yay. Things to cheer about.
Shield versus Wyatt's. How do you feel about that situation?
I love it. I was hoping though that you would see one-on-one matches before the pay-per-view, like Dean Ambrose versus one of the Wyatts, and Seth Rollins versus one of the Wyatts, and that way we can get them running in and kind of melee and everything getting out of control, and you see rings getting broken and chairs getting busted. That way they can make that match an elimination chamber match. It should be inside the chamber. Last man standing, that team wins. I mean, I'm just saying that because just imagine how awesome that would be just to see kind of the beatdowns those guys could take inside the elimination chamber instead of a regular tag team matchup, because they don't need me in that match. It needs to be over the top. It needs to be exciting. It needs to be more than a steel cage match where you tag in. I mean, my gosh, that was stupid tonight. I mean, it was a great match, but if you're going to be inside a steel cage, it should be anything goes. If you're going to make it submission and 3-count win, no over the top, but let everything else go wild. I mean, maybe that's why we missed the Attitude Era so much, because everything was so crazy. Everything went so...
What the heck was that?
What the heck was that?
So sad, but
it sounded like in a cartoon when someone drops like something really heavy on someone's toe.
I was like, do I need to run? Do I need to hold up a Wile E. Coyote sign that says oops?
That's WWE going, fuck, stop talking about CM Punk already. Wow.
All right, Brian. What was your high point and your low point for tonight's Raw?
Ooh. High point would be the main event until the end, because Kane coming out there made no sense. And then low point would be Emma. Please, somebody shoot me. I was like, shoot me dead during the segment. And then the fans cheered her. And I'm like, no, Summer Rae wins. Summer Rae wins. Other high points, Summer Rae dancing, always. And Aksana looking good again. Sorry.
All right, Brian. It was an awesome call tonight, man. Thanks for calling in, dude. We'll see y'all next week, man.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good night, dude. We appreciate everyone who always calls in, and we invite all y'all listening. You can call in anytime you wish. Area code 760-512-7247. That's area code 760-512-7247. You can also dial in using Skype by pressing the little Skype icon at the top of the broadcast page. We also got the chat room running wild. We got Awesome Piano Man in there, Brian the Brains in there, JT77, Joseph Stallman, Zixter, and of course a couple of our hosts that we have from here, a bunch of guests as well. I don't know who the heck you are, but welcome to the Raw Post Show chat room. Where we left off, where we had our caller there, we were talking about Batista and Alberto Del Rio having a showdown in the ring tonight. Tony, why don't you take us off on that?
One thing I want to mention before we start talking about that actual segment itself was, did anybody else notice the little commercial that they had earlier on in the night where Alberto Del Rio, out of all people, was the spokesman for
Be a Star
campaign?
Yeah. Yes.
And he says, I'm, WWE superstar Alberto Del Rio, and I don't stand for hate.
Then he goes out.
Pretty sure that's your entire fucking character, dude, being a hateful bastard.
Even outside of it, he's a fucking hateful bastard. Like, how many times has he beat the piss out of Sin Cara, legitimately?
Right, like, that's like the worst.
Oh, you broke your fingers? Let me just kick the fuck out of you.
So, the segment itself, though, I mentioned this earlier on, and I said about WWE trying to placate the fans and trying to book things in a way where they wouldn't necessarily cheer in the way that they don't want them to. And this kind of felt like that to me. It was like, let's have Batista go out there, and he won't even cut a promo, because when he goes out to cut a promo, they're just going to chant for Daniel Bryan. So we're going to have a heel come out, and he'll just hijack that, and then it'll be the good guy Batista gets to fight the bad guy Del Rio. Yay, that'll get the fans behind us again. Didn't really work 100%, but you could tell that the fans were still into it a lot more than if they would have just had, a Daniel Bryan promo or something like that. But I'm not into it at all. It makes sense from what they were building before, and I won't fault WWE for that. When you set something up, you have to kind of go for it, or it just looks like you realize that it was worse and, you're kind of caving into your own stupidity. But it's not something that I want to see. So as much as it is a logical thing to have Del Rio and Batista at Elimination Chamber just for something for Batista to do, I still don't want to see it. And that's not 100% because of my dislike for Del Rio. It's not 100% because of Batista not having to be in this spot, and I don't want him to have that match at WrestleMania and all that other kind of stuff. It's just something that I'm not interested in. So the segment itself is supposed to be building towards something, and it's supposed to get me excited for it. Didn't in the slightest bit.
You mentioned not having Batista talk much. The only things Batista really said seemed so out of character for it, where he was like, look, bro, I don't know what your problem is, but I don't got any beef with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was backing down.
Right, it was like, well, we're not going to turn him heel. He's just going to be the baby face. Have him be like, hey, buddy, let's not fight. And then, you poked the beast. Oh, I'm going to fight you now, buddy. Like, I don't know. It's just dumb. It's just dumb.
Steven?
I could not give a fuck about this feud, and that's pretty much the fucking general feeling I've had for this show tonight. It's like bringing the extra cynicalness out of me. It was just a boring segment. I wish they'd got to the point sooner. Batista did seem out of character. I don't know if that's just him trying to be the babyface or...
That jacket didn't help.
Oh god, he'd wear some of the... Did you see that article they did on WWE.com? Like the top coolest things that Batista's worn, and the fucking pink polo shirts and shit are on there?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but enough about Batista's fashion sense. They kind of blew this whole storyline away already in the Royal Rumble when they had him just throw Alberto Del Rio out like a normal guy and not do anything between them. Or if they did, it was so insignificant that I missed it. So I don't care about the storyline. If it gets Batista in the ring, I suppose it's good that he gets a warm-up before he main events WrestleMania, but Jesus, I couldn't give a crap about Alberto Del Rio. There's nothing they can do to make me interested in this guy. I've just had too much of him.
Ooh, yeah, Drew White.
Oh, he's big.
Ooh, yeah. So, anyways, fun fact, I didn't like this segment, but the only really thing I want to mention about this was that I couldn't tell if Justin Roberts said Batista or Boo-tista when he introduced him. So that's the only thing I want to mention. So, ooh, yeah, Boo-tista.
Okay. Oh, goodness gracious. We had another 6-man tag match, this time featuring the Wyatt family going against Dolph Ziggler, Xavier Woods, R-Truth. Dolph Ziggler visibly uncomfortable teaming with Xavier Woods and R-Truth when they came out dancing and stuff like that. He was not in a dancing mood. Bray Wyatt ends up getting the pin after hitting the Sister Abigail on Dolph Ziggler. Eventually, after the match, the Shield interrupts the Wyatts just as the Shield interrupted them earlier. I think my favorite part of this is when Dean Ambrose is speaking first, and he tries to speak in like weird poems. He's like, "Nah, listen up, boneheads." And like, man, that's the perfect words I could use to describe the Wyatt family. Boneheads. They're definitely a bunch of boneheads.
You know who he reminded me of when he said that? Stereotypical sitcom bully from the 90s.
Yeah.
Hey, listen up, bonehead. It was like the Roger Klotz.
He's like, "What are you, chicken?" Oh, this was a pretty insignificant tag team matchup, and I guess the only thing really worth speaking about is what happened after it. So, I mean, guys, you have anything you wanted to that?
No.
We really already spoke a lot about the Wyatt and Shield situation. So let's move on to the Divas match. We had Naomi versus Aksana. Naomi versus Aksana. We had AJ Lee joining us on commentary, and I think she had one of my favorite comments of the night where I believe it was either JBL or Cole asked her what she thinks of Naomi. And she's like, "Oh, Naomi is like a sexy baked potato." And I had to think about that for a second. I was like, sexy baked potato?
Yeah, but the best thing
is she making a comment about like how her clothes look like tinfoil, or is it a racist joke, or what is she saying? I don't get it.
Yeah, the best thing is she was so quick to respond when there was like, "I don't think a sexy baked potato can do that." She's like, "Yeah, you didn't leave it out long enough," or something like that. Yeah. I was like, "Wow, she's quick. I like her."
Yeah, the whole thing was very quick. Like, I was actually trying to figure out, like, was this like a pre-written joke she had, or was this just like organically on the spot? They just asked that question. She's like, "Yeah, she's like a sexy baked potato."
I love AJ on fucking commentary. I love her mic work in general. She's got so much talent, and there's no one right now that should be taking the belts off her. Fuck it, give it her 27 years.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I believe Naomi got the victory in this. I honestly don't remember. I don't think it really. I assume so because she's probably getting the title match coming up at Elimination Chamber. Anything anybody wants to add to that?
Alicia Fox,
great.
Zigsta, he specs AJ.
Foxana.
Oh, someone else I didn't mention here. We had the, I guess, sort of an introductory promo for Alexander Rusev, where he spoke in some language. It was either Russian or Bulgarian or whatever it may have been. And then we got our first glimpse of his female sidekick, Lana, which if you watch NXT, you'd be familiar with her. But if you're not, she's basically going to be the new Russian in town. So I hope you enjoyed seeing Aksana tonight, because it may have been one of the last times you got to see her.
Sad face.
Oh. Lana's the new Kozlov.
What do you guys think about? What do you think of Rusev? And we got to see him at the Royal Rumble for a brief period of time.
Oh well, you know those Russian gimmicks, they've worked out so well in the past.
But he's not Russian; he's Bulgarian.
Whatever, same shit.
This is not the time to debut him. You can't do it before WrestleMania. They've done it so many times in the past before, and it's the same thing with the tag team division. You don't split people up or give them a new gimmick or anything like that before WrestleMania unless you're planning on having them be a featured person at WrestleMania.
Like Fandango.
Right. Fandango was the only one that it actually worked with. Everybody else, it's going to be the same story as it is every single year. You introduce them, you give them some squash matches before WrestleMania, they don't appear at WrestleMania. Suddenly, after WrestleMania, they go, oh, we got to wrap up all these other things from WrestleMania, and by Extreme Rules, nobody fucking remembers that they exist. And then you have to rebuild them up anyway afterwards. So what's the deal? I don't get it. And I highly doubt that they're planning on having him do something at WrestleMania too.
I thought Rusev was debuting when Titus O'Neil's music hit. I thought it was like, what? Already? But now it was Titus O'Neil, and I was like, damn.
Yeah, Titus O'Neil's music was weird.
Yeah, I thought the exact same thing. I was like, oh, it's going to be this guy. Because I felt disappointment just sink into my brain as soon as I heard the music. Then I saw Titus O'Neil, and I was even more disappointed.
It doesn't fit him at all, does it?
Nope. You should just have some real gangster rap music that's really shitty. Someone like Lil Wayne or something.
What was wrong with the move? Get it. That's right.
That was my favorite thing about the Primetime Players. Their entrance music before they messed with it. When they had, what was the guy? AW with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like when that was perfect. I wish they never messed with that, because I had that music on my iPod, and if I ever went on a run, I'd just be like, ooh, yeah, get it.
Came on right after the Skype call music.
Exactly, but
maybe sorry, continue.
Oh, I was going to say that I do like Rusev. I thought he had a lot of potential. He showed good wrestling ability in the Rumble. It's just that he's a terrible character. He's like any other Russian character. It's not going to work unless
He reminds me too much of Samoa Joe.
Yeah. except not as fat.
But he looks a little bit like Mike Knox.
Oh, yeah.
But he looks a little bit like Kozlov.
Steven, what were you going to say, though?
I totally forgot.
Oh, my bad, Steven.
Theme songs were the topic at the time.
I want to read Zixta's comment, though. Listening to this in a room with my other half, and she's just said, if you had a drinking game where you drank every time the British guy said something depressing, you'd be dead.
All right, we got a drinking game now. This is great.
However.
We got a caller on the line. Speaking of, so let's bring him in here. Caller from the 337 area code. You are live on the Mega Powers Radio Raw Post Show. What's your name and where you called from?
Hey, this is Joe. I'm in your chat room.
Oh, Stallman?
Oh, yeah.
Joseph Stallman. Welcome back to the Raw Post Show, man. How you doing, dude?
It's doing good. I gotta do a couple shots, though. I didn't know we were doing a drinking game.
Oh, yeah, we all got a lot to catch up on here. What'd you think of Raw tonight, dude?
I mean, it was boring. But, I mean, still entertaining. That's why I was watching. Now, put it this way. Between that and the Super Bowl, this was more entertaining.
I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I am not a sports fanatic. Thank goodness, because it seemed like it was pretty one-sided and very underwhelming.
Bring back the XFL.
I went to bed before halftime last night. That's how bad.
Who would have thought the Super Bowl would be a squash match? This is why it's good to have things predetermined.
Way to put it in wrestling terms.
Something depressing. I'm surprised Wago didn't say it.
Broncos are being buried.
No, Paden, this is what the Super Bowl was. You build up this big thing, and then it's a squash match. Like, oh, you built this guy up as the next big thing, and then you fucking fucked it up. Like, what are you doing?
Joe, man, what'd you think about tonight's show, though, man? What were some of your favorite parts about the show tonight?
Well, I called in. I don't know if anybody mentioned it, but the whole that chick getting kneed in the face, damn near knocked out. Like, no one said anything about that.
The chick?
Aksana? Knee to the face?
Someone needs someone on the face on the ground. I don't know any of these divas' name. I tried to ignore them.
Yeah, Aksana kneed Naomi on the ground. It kind of looked like Naomi didn't know what they were doing because Aksana was trying to get her shoulders down for the pin, but Naomi wouldn't do it after the knee to the face.
I know exactly what happened there. Someone forgot what spot it was because they stand down crouching on the ground discussing a spot for what seemed like a good minute.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me.
I wish.
Oh, wait, don't go. My bad. Don't want to take your spotlight.
Cut, Joe.
No, you're good, man. You're good, bro. You're good. That's why you're the host.
No, that was Drew. Drew's not the host.
I'm the co-host of SmackDown.
But he's the co-host. Whatever. Jeez.
You go ahead, Joe. It's your time.
No, I mean, she knocked the shit out of that girl. Like, baked potato, that chick. Like, she had no clue where the fuck she was. Like, if Jim Ross was there, he'd have been going crazy. Like, oh my God, he hit her so hard, she's about to lose her shit. Oh my God. Like, it was insanity. Like, I was like, this bitch is about to fall out. Like, she's about to pass the fuck out live on air and nothing. Like, no one, like, they didn't do anything. I was just really surprised. Like, her face looked swole up. Like, it was bad. I was surprised nobody said anything about it. It was the one time in a Diva match I was like, fuck yes, finally some brutality.
I wasn't even expecting that. I wasn't even paying attention. I was too busy like, all right, when are you going to show AJ again?
Oh, yeah, right?
Let's pan the camera back over there.
Let's face it, we all like AJ because she looks like she's fucking 12.
Hashtag pedophile.
Oh, goodness gracious. So what'd you think about the development for Daniel Bryan tonight, looking like he's potentially going to be taking the spot as the face of the company?
I read a lot of cool things that happened this week. Not happened, but like different ideas. Three-man match for the championship at the WrestleMania, which would be cool. I mean, you know, somebody said something about doing something with Kane earlier. I don't think he's going to do anything with Kane. I mean, I don't know. I don't like the whole Orton thing, like with everybody in there. He better win the Chamber is all I'm saying. If he wins the Chamber, and yes, I do like fucking 12-year-olds. Awesome, man. Thank you. But if he wins the Chamber, then everybody will be stoked for WrestleMania. If he doesn't win it, I mean, they're going to have to find a hard way to get that guy into the championship match, and they're going to have to. I mean, it's right now the exciting part is to figure out what they're going to do with Daniel Bryan and how they're going to put him in a WrestleMania match, and that'll sell pay-per-views.
Well, hopefully they decide to go that direction. It's not just another tease for the ascension of Daniel Bryan. What about the Wyatts and the Shield? What about what we saw with them tonight? You on board?
Yeah. Who was saying earlier about the Chamber match? I think it was Brian the Brain, right?
Probably.
Oh, he's not on the mic. Sorry, I forget. He killed someone. He's cleaning up a body right now. I think if they put it in a Chamber, hell yeah, dude, I'd buy that. A Chamber match would be great with those guys. If not, it'll just be a normal freaking tag, and I don't think it'll do anything good. And Ambrose will come in and do his little power fist, whatever he does, and then the Wyatts will win, and then that'll give another reason for them to break up. Which I just don't see that as entertainment. If you put it in a Chamber match, it adds so much more flair to the match, and it makes it more important. It's like the cage match tonight. They could have built that up, last week and said, hey, it's going to be a cage match. And everybody would have been, oh, cool, something to look forward to, a cage match with these guys. And then they get in there and, they sit in the corner and it's a boring fucking match when it's a cage match. So you think it would be more brutal, but it's not. So I assume that's what they're going to do with the Shield and the Wyatts. It's going to be another boring match unless they put it in the Chamber.
I agree. And especially if they put it in the Chamber, I think that would be the closest thing we would ever get to a modern-day War Games match where you have teams against each other coming in at intervals one at a time.
See, that was cool. Me and you talked about that earlier in the week, the whole War Games thing. I had to go back on YouTube and watch some War Games, and they were fucking good. Like, it was entertaining. I bet my 9-year-old self on the inside was like, yeah, like kick his ass. The one with I remember when I was a kid listening to those, like, because you could see, like, on the pay-per-view, you could, like, hear it, you just couldn't see it, and, like, hearing, like, Sting coming in or, like, Hogan coming in, like, being all stoked about it. I couldn't even fucking watch it. I was just listening to it, and it was awesome. So, yeah, that'd be cool if they could do stuff like that. I mean, they won't, but it would be awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool idea, so that means it will absolutely not happen.
Well, when Mega Powers takes over WWE, we'll get it.
Oh.
If we take over, that's the fucking worst booking team in the world. It's just going to be full of Biggie cock jokes.
And Fandango. Fandango is the world champion.
Jinder Mahal's going to turn face.
Every week. The show's going to start with him as a heel, and he's going to turn face before the end of the show. Over and over again every week.
You don't want us near the fucking booking team. It'd be terrible.
It's better what they have now, I think. I think we do a decent job.
There's no pre-show. It's just like the Jinder Mahal turning face show. Happens every single week.
Mrs. Dad, general manager.
You could put Steve on top of that big the Titantron, and then on top of that other thing, and make him Bad News Wago. That'd be awesome.
I've got some depressing news for you.
Oh my god!
That'd be awesome.
Gracious. We don't have Jim Johnson.
The show is over. Go home.
Drew does all the theme songs.
That's fucking horrible.
Guys, shut up. Don't be a hater.
And all the matches take place in the bounce house.
Ooh, yeah.
Can that be your stick from now on? When you want to say something bad, can you just harp in and be like, well, I've got some bad news, Mega Powers?
No, because I think Paden does the most terrible and entertaining Barrett impression. It's a fucking mouth.
Just happened to have
Brian the Brain's killing somebody.
Oh my gosh! You know, hey, if we did book WWE, we could finally have the Bounce House pay-per-view that I've been wanting for a long time. Make me happy.
Well, this just goes to show how entertaining this episode.
Hey, the Drew Crew could be led by Drew McIntyre.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Don't be a hater, Paden.
Joe, what was your high point and your low point for tonight's Monday Night Raw?
High point would be this phone call right now, you sexy stud. And then low point would be probably anything with Alberto Del Rio in it. I still get him. I'm with Wago on that one. I just do not get that guy. And Batista, they didn't even let him talk. That's how horrible. Like, they don't even give him a chance to come out there and talk shit or anything. You think this being your guy that's going to WrestleMania, you'd want him to get out there, talk to the fans, and, like, you know, cut a promo. But no. He's just like, I'm wearing denim jeans. And he's all stoked about it. And that's his gimmick right now is fucking denim.
I'm here, and I'm denim. All right, Joe. We appreciate you calling in, man. Always a good call. Have a good night, bro.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Did somebody say Venom?
Damn it, you beat me to it.
No. All right. We're probably going to be wrapping things up here, guys, but you got a few more minutes if you want to call in and get some thoughts about tonight's Monday Night Raw. Area code 760-512-7247. For now, we're going to go around the panel and give our high point, low points for tonight's show. Started off with the Bounce House Prince, Mr. Drew White. Drew, run by us, dude.
You know, you always start with me, and I'm never prepared for it. But today, I might be prepared for it for once. So
stalling.
Well, you either are, you're not. You're just stalling.
Here we go. High point tonight. I'm gonna go with the main event. I didn't really pay attention to it, but I did like the ending a lot, except for after the match. I thought it was stupid. But before the match ended, Daniel Bryan winning actually surprised me. So that was the high point. Low point. I'm trying not to pick on Divas right now, but it's always difficult to. I think I'm gonna go with the Wyatt's match. I wasn't very into. Actually, yeah, the Wyatt's match. I wasn't very into it at all.
I don't know what this means. Awesome Piano Man just said his high point, the post show, the low point, Awesome Piano Man's last show. What does that mean, last show? It means you're not coming back again, Mr. Awesome Piano Man?
He's going away for a while, from what I remember.
Oh no! Oh no!
At least
no!
Piano Man. Jesus, guys, asshole.
Oh, putting him on blast on the show and everything. Mr. Steven Wago, your high point, low point for tonight.
Anything for you, you sexy stud.
I'm not 12.
My high point, probably the Daniel Bryan Randy Orton match. I thought it was very good up until Kane's interference. I think it kind of threw everything off. My low point, fucking the entertainment segment. It's fucking abysmal. Wrestle crap all over it.
Absolutely. Tony.
Low point, Emma's sideways Nazi salutes. And high point, probably a tie between AJ on the mic and looking all adorable with that hat of hers and all that, and the Boneheads comment. That alone was so fucking awesome. That made me like Dean Ambrose more.
I definitely appreciate the Bonehead comment. However, I think the comment of the night was indeed the sexy baked potato, which will be my high point for the night. Who would have thought something that a high point of the night actually came from the Divas? And my low point for the night actually will not be the Divas. It won't be the dance-off, although it's very close. I think my low point for the night is going to be when Jerry Lawler interrupted Bad News Barrett with his...
Fucking amen.
I'm changing mine.
Yeah.
Changing mine. I forgot.
Terrible.
That was bad.
Bad News Barrett up until the Jerry Lawler segment was amazing. Anything after that is my fucking low point.
You see, that's why I picked the entertainment segment, because at least Barrett had a silver lining. That was just a whole lump of shit.
I'm not giving bad news Barrett any reason, or I'm not putting any reason behind it on bad news Barrett. It's definitely all Jerry Lawler. Yeah, bad news Barrett did fine. He has his good weeks and his bad weeks. This was actually one of his better weeks, and if they had just let his music continue playing out, he actually got a bigger gavel this week. It looks like they gave him the supersize one.
It was a nice mallet, wasn't it?
How does he get up on that podium?
Yeah. All right, guys. That's going to be our high point, low points. I'm trying to find other ones in the chat. Here we go. Zixter's high point, Ambrose's Kramer Macbeth promo style. Low point, announcers marking out more for Betty White than any wrestling. That's a good one. All right, we're going to go around to our hosts here one final time. Let them talk about anything they got going on in the world that they want to plug to y'all to hear before we conclude this evening. Mr. Drew White, you're not going first. Mr. Stephen Wago, you may go first.
Yay, I get to prepare.
February 23rd, check out Addicted to Anime at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be reviewing Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. There's a lot to get through, so it's going to be a full-packed show. I just finished Full Metal Alchemist season, the original season, going through that again. About 50 episodes, so I got to binge through another 53 episodes to finish and get this review in order. You check us out on Facebook, Addicted Anime Fans. The group's growing. We're getting now, but I've got a few glitches out the way. We're going to be back up and running again. And check out UDMMA at facebook.com/UDMMA, Twitter's at UDMMA, and UDMMA.com.
Now, Mr. Drew Crew, you may go.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, Sports Talk Weekly. You know, it's a new show starting up on Mega Powers Radio. I'm not going to be on it this Saturday, but Chris Jester, the host of it. It's at 9 o'clock, correct, Mr. Paden?
Yeah, I believe it is 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Eastern Standard Time. If you like sports, even though sports suck, especially if you're Mr. Paden or Mr. Mango, you should go there anyways, because you never know if I'll show up on there, just drop some knowledge on you that isn't wrestling related. And those for you who hate my outros, you could kiss my arse.
Oh, Drew's the draw for that show, huh?
Yep, it always is, Steven. I'm the draw for every show.
That is one big pile of shit.
Exactly.
Mr. Tony Mango, take over.
Alrighty, guys. Smark Out Moment has a little announcement to make. I'm officially partnered up with Yardbarker now. So you're going to see a lot more of Smark Out Moment on other websites trying to invade. Smack Talk this week is going to be recorded on Wednesday night, not Friday night, and we're going to be doing a top rope list, something Royal Rumble related. I haven't quite decided yet. Next week is going to be the monthly mailbag, so send in your questions for that. Check out the 2 articles that I'm going to be writing later on this week for Bleacher Report, and follow all other A Mango Tree related stuff by just looking it all up on the internet.
All right, guys, we had a really fun show tonight. Definitely a lot more exciting than I expected, as I should expect this. Whenever we have a blah raw, we always still manage to have a really fun post show, and it's always thanks to everyone that joins us in the chat room, calls in, and of course keeps things going on. Very fun, keeps the conversation flowing, even beyond what we're capable of. All that energy always keeps things super awesome. So we thank y'all for tuning in all the time, and we want to remind you to keep tuning in every week here after Raw concludes on Mega Powers Radio at megapowersradio.com. You can also find this show in archive form on smarkoutmoment.com, which will have easy links to where you can find the show on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, and also you can find us on Facebook, Twitter by using the handle Raw Post Show, and of course you can always tweet to us using hashtag Raw Post Show. I'm getting tired, guys. I'm sorry. I'm losing my energies. We thank y'all for listening tonight. Everyone was awesome in the chat room once again. Y'all were great. Thanks everyone for called in. Thanks to JD, Brian the Brain, Joseph Stallman. I think I got everybody. Thanks to the people who joined me on the panel here, Mr. Stephen Wago, Drew Wright, and Mr. Tony Mango. True.
Did you say Drew Wright?
White is right.
Naomi did.
Thank y'all for everyone tuning in. We'll see y'all next week here on Mega Powers Radio. Thank y'all and good night.